Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We're jumping right into it. I previously recorded for 20 minutes. I had this epic, awesome rant that I was like on. So I have to redo that. You guys know who I am, E.T. Templar, alien crusader from beyond the heavens, here to entertain and destroy through the power of me magic. And to start off, we were looking at a confused geriatric old man that somehow is president of the United States. Try and just watch.
Is the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not.
I wrote the
Because
bill.
you have the Afghan troops have 300,000 well equipped as any army.
I'm laughing mainly because the absurdity. 300,000 for a country that's giant with hills and with a whole bunch of cave-dwelling terrorists isn't shit. Look at the United States. We're leaving embassies. We're leaving equipment behind. And we had the unending amount of money supply of our printing presses just printing out money. Same thing with the Russians. The Russians had strong central banks with an impressive military that the world's never seen. And yet somehow these angry dudes in sandals with turbans turned them back. So you really think that 300,000 Afghan National Army guys are going to somehow turn away 75,000 Taliban without that the economic powerhouses of the United States, or like in Russia's case? Fuck no. This is like an unmitigated disaster. And here goes Biden with the fucking Air Force. Hey, listen. Just because you have planes doesn't really mean shit. A great general once said, it's not about the size of the dog, it's about the size of the fight in the dog. And the Taliban, to that extent, is a big fucking dog, like, in the size of the fight of their dog. The ANA and Afghani National Army guys are serving a corrupt government that has shafted them. There's stories where soldiers aren't getting food. They're on deployment for 9 months at a time. They're not getting the supplies they need because the government is pocketing that money and selling that supplies to other places and other people, and probably involved with the Taliban, if I had my guess. So it's just a situation that you are going to see a horror show just develop before your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be bad. And what do we have? We have a geriatric, mentally deficient, pardon this expression, retard at the helm of this ship.
In the world, and an Air Force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable.
Mr. President, thank you very much. Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That's not true.
Can you please clarify what they have told you?
Listen to him not answer this question. Listen to how he answers this shit like a true fucking politician.
About whether that will happen or not?
That is not true. I did not reach that conclusion.
So what is the level of confidence that they have that it will not collapse?
The Afghan government and leadership has to come.
Yeah, it's not the question. You're not answering the question. What's the likelihood? Percentages, like out of tens. 4 out of 10? Is there a 4 out of 10 chance the government's not going to collapse? Is there like a 40% that's not going to collapse? This guy can't even fucking answer questions from the press. And yet these same people will prop him up and say, he's such a good president. He bit my tongue.
They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government.
Do you see any parallels?
Sorry, I'm laughing at the absurdity. It's not.
This withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam with some people feeling...
None whatsoever. Zero. What you had entire brigades breaking through the gates of our embassy.
Entire brigades, whole brigades, 6 entire brigades breaking through the fence. It's like 6,000 troops around there.
6, if I'm not mistaken. The Taliban is not the North Vietnamese army. They're not remotely comparable.
They're pretty comparable. These people have defeated 2 world powers. England, Russia, and now the United States. So for them not being comparable to the, like, Viet Cong, they're pretty fucking comparable. And that's just with them having sandals, desert garb, and a black turban, and maybe some scattered caves in the highlands. I have to give it to this. They've... It's astounding what they can do with the limited resources they have against these world superpowers with endless funding, technology. It's mind-boggling to what the ability these Afghanis have, and I will say that.
In terms of capability, there's going to be no circumstance.
And for Biden just to fucking hand-wave them away as like a whole bunch of like uneducated shepherdsmen with like AKs, like, wow, you're president and you're underestimating your enemy that much. Wow, we're going to be in a great 3 years, ladies and gentlemen.
You see people being lifted off the roof of a embassy.
He says that, and hold on to your beer, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Here we go. It's already being memed. Look at this. Look at this shit. I'm gonna retweet that shit. Let's see. Where's... there's more pictures. Also, one more thing here that I wanted to show. It's basically the Taliban coming across piles of guns, which is just... yeah, here it is. And I'll go into detail since I'm a gun dude. So what we have here is like a room full of like M4s, M16s, M16A4s, A2s. There's some like SVDs in there because I can tell by the butt stock. Maybe an AK. So it's just a warehouse full of guns. And the Taliban has access to this. And these are, I believe, SAWs, squad automatic weapons. You know, belt-fed machine guns. This should fucking concern you as an American because this is our weapons in the hands of now radical Islamic extremists. Way to go. So, of course, in the back, all M4s. These are probably like Remington or Winchester, like 308s. Again, this dude has a fucking Mod Deuce 50 caliber. Jesus. Shotguns. And all these guns are going to end up flooding the Middle East from the Taliban. They're going to be going to Hezbollah, other groups, probably even ISIS-K in Afghanistan. So, yeah, all these guns, the Taliban is probably going to sell off to their terrorist shithead buddies all throughout the Middle East, Afghanistan, and other regions. And, yeah, it's pretty... It's just a disaster. You know, let's see, where were we on this?
Afghanistan now in
collapse.
The Afghan government and leadership has to come together. They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They took America for a ride. They probably got a shitload of money doing it. And now they're probably just going to let the house of cards fall. They're probably going to go into hiding. Or they probably have already been in contact with the Taliban. Something tells me that the Taliban has been behind the scenes. Did I mention this earlier? Where they were contacting like Afghan national like security, and saying, "Oh, if you stand down, we won't kill you or your family." And they, they go, "Oh, well, that's a better deal than fighting and dying for this corrupt fucking Afghani government that doesn't give us food supplies and keeps us in service for 9 months at a time." So yeah, these. It's, again, comparable to the United States. So you'll get to watch Afghanistan fall into the hands of Taliban Muslim extremists. But then again, our government's no different. Our government's ran by a bunch of sociopaths and psychopaths. So I guess pick your poison.
In place.
And do you see any parallels between this withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam?
Okay.
With some people feel
The North Vietnamese army. You see
It's
people
not
being
comparable.
lifted off the roof. Where do they go from here? That the jury is still out. But the likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely, he says, when they're pretty much doing just that right now as I speak. So yeah. these next 3 years are going to be pretty interesting. Yeah. These next 3 years under Biden, we have 3 more years of this just limp-wristed bullshit. So yeah, and I will say this, you know, say what you want about Bush, but at least we got some oil, allegedly, out of Iraq. And at least, you know, Iraq, we stole their fucking gold. Yeah. There was at one point where the American forces went into an Iraqi bank and just fucking took all the gold. They loaded it up in a truck. And no one's seen that gold ever since. Just fucking disappeared. So, yeah, at least we got some golden oil out of that shit. What did we get in Afghanistan? Oh, lost countless lives, treasure. And what did we get in return? Oh, that's right, an opioid epidemic. Woo! What a deal! What a deal! So the absurdity of this is just can't help but to laugh at it. Essentially, it's fucking tragic. And of course, the human rights violations and shit that's gonna come within the next few months and years in Afghanistan, it's gonna make your head spin. Yeah, not a good situation. But then again, you know, my opinion on the Middle East or just Arabic nations in the whole, and even other countries in the Levant, I have to be careful how I word things here on YouTube, but these people hate us. Why are we giving money, time, blood, and treasure to people who fucking hate our guts? There's a group of people who call us Goyim and Gentile. They hate our guts, and they're supposedly our allies. And then there's, you know, people who call us kafirs, non-believers, and apostates. And for some reason, we're giving them guns and arms and shit, too, in the Middle East. Countless American dollars for groups of people who fucking hate our guts, our culture, hate us just generally. And see us as cattle and essentially human trash. So, in my opinion, here's a controversial one. Fuck Afghanistan. If they want to be ruled by the Taliban, fine. And I don't know if Biden is setting this up so he can reinvade Afghanistan. Like, I don't know if he's got some fucking deal with, like, Raytheon and the arms industry. Because you also have Taliban, like, taking and, like, finding drones, which that's a fucking just nightmare scenario. Drones, MRAPs, Humvees, guns, have you seen? It's concerning. But then again, we should just let the Middle East eat themselves. Really, that's what we should do. Let's stop wasting money, blood, and treasure for groups of people that absolutely hate our guts. Can we just stop sending shit and money over there? Fuck them. Because these people don't give a shit about us. Even our so-called greatest allies hate us, demean us, and because we're not, you know, almost revealed it there. Yeah, it's just a shitty situation, and we have 3 more years. So my advice is invest in silver, gold, and cryptocurrency. Stock up on food, guns, and ammo, because we don't know what's going to happen in these next 3 years under this geriatric retard. As, you know, boy. Well, oh boy! And then if he gets a second term, holy shit! It's going to be interesting 3 to 5 years with the second term? No, we'll see. Hold on to your asses. Strap in, strap on, and enjoy the horror show that's about to unfold in Afghanistan. Well, I shouldn't say enjoy, but yeah. Welcome to the nightmare.